Welcome to Mickey, Marvel, and More, Disney news, commentary, and opinion. From theme parks to Thanos and from Skywalker to Skyliner, my family and I will discuss it all. So let's go!
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Hello, Mark here, and welcome to another episode of Mickey, Marvel, and More. Thanks so much for being with us and for all of your continued support. We really enjoy bringing you cool and interesting Disneyverse news and having fun family chats around the virtual table. And we are now up to episode 60, while not necessarily a
milestone episode.
we still love to celebrate big round numbers here at Mickey, Marvel, and More. So here's to the next 60. Disneyland Resort has been celebrating their 70th anniversary over the last year and change, and we haven't been able to get out west to check it out. But luckily for us, part of our Mickey, Marvel, and More team has. Sophie and fan favorite Zack were recently out in California and visited Disneyland Resort for a couple of days, and they're going to join us in the family chat to tell us all about it. It'll be really interesting to hear what Sophie's thoughts are, as this will be her first ever trip to Disneyland Resort. Sometimes it can be a bit of a shock for someone who's been to Walt Disney World several times, and it's fun to get to hear what they think about the different and one-of-a-kind Disneyland experiences. It should be a really fun discussion. But before we get to that, how about a little news from in and around the Disneyverse?
Ahoy there, mates, and welcome aboard our Walt Disney World ferry boat. We are casting off for a mile-long journey across the Seven Seas Lagoon.
We're going to start off with a bit of a controversy from Walt Disney World Resort operations. Earlier in the week, Walt Disney World announced that starting on June 28, 2026, guests who were not staying on property or had a dining reservation at one of the resort hotels could no longer use the bus or watercraft transportation from the Disney Springs shopping district. So now, to board any of these transportation options, you will have to show proof of your hotel or dining reservations. I kind of had a feeling that things were heading this way when they first tested this procedure over New Year's and Easter weekends this year. It was then later announced that they were going to do the same thing during the upcoming 4th of July weekend as well. Disney said they were implementing this temporary change to control crowds during very busy time periods. But it seemed to me that they were putting a lot of effort into a new procedure only for temporary use. Well, it looks like that this will now be a permanent change to operations in the Disney Springs shopping district. According to what I've read online, one of the many things that led to this change in operation was, in fact, Disney influencers. Many Disney influencers online are always posting about what they consider to be Walt Disney World travel hacks. One of the hacks touted by many of these Disney influencers was using the free parking at Disney Springs and then taking the bus to a Disney resort or a Disney theme park so they could avoid paying the parking fees, which is a savings of around $30. We generally only go to Disney Springs in the evening, but from what I've been reading, a lot of people that went to Disney Springs during the day noticed that the parking garages were always very full and there really didn't seem to be a lot of people in Disney Springs itself. So there's a good chance that a lot of people were using this quote-unquote hack. This is why we can't have nice things, people. I am sure that this is not the only reason that Disney implemented this change, but it clearly had something to do with their decision-making process. We have not been there yet during the time periods when they've been testing this procedure, so I can't speak to how much extra time it may or may not add to your wait for a Disney bus or watercraft from Disney Springs. But I would imagine during busier times, it might slow things down a little. Look, I remember a long time ago back in the day when Laura and I first started going to Walt Disney World, where they would check your key to the world card, which were your tickets and room keys, before you boarded a Disney bus at the theme parks to make sure that you were a Walt Disney World Resort registered guest. I only hope that they don't start doing this again at the theme park bus stops, because that would make a process that is slow during the busier time periods even slower. Even with the tap function of your phone or your Magic Band, I would imagine it would cause a lot of arguments with people demanding that they be allowed to use the Disney transportation system. It would also cost Disney more money in regards to staffing these tap kiosks, just like they have at the entrance gates for the theme parks, as well as the entry points for the rides for lightning lanes. So let's hope they don't implement that. Or perhaps maybe this is a backdoor way of Disney getting ready to implement a paid system for people to use the buses that aren't resort guests? I don't know. That wouldn't surprise me either. Either way, a lot of people are up in arms about this change online. What do you guys think? Is this a good change? Is this a bad change? Head on down to the show notes and let us know what you think. As always, Mickey, Marvel, and more will keep you posted with any new updates to this or any other procedure in the Disney theme parks, so stick with us.
Luke! Take these two over to the garage, will you? I want them cleaned up before dinner.
But I was going into Toshi Station to pick up some power converters.
You can waste time with your friends when your chores are done. Now, come on, get to it.
All right, come on.
So let me just get this off my chest. Buying Star Wars Celebration Los Angeles 2027 tickets a couple of weeks ago was an absolute nightmare. I waited a few weeks to talk about this, just to let the dust settle, and so I wouldn't immediately jump on and record a curse word-filled crazy person rant. For those that have forgotten, Star Wars celebrations are a lot like your average Comic-Con, but dedicated solely to Star Wars, and they have them every so often in the United States and overseas. The next one is scheduled in Los Angeles on April 1st through the 4th, 2027. Going into purchasing tickets, I knew that they were going to be a hot commodity this year, since this year's celebration was going to coincide with the 50th anniversary of Star Wars A New Hope. Most of the time, Star Wars Celebration tickets do sell out, just not usually on the first day that they're made available. And rest assured, if it was just a matter of the tickets selling out and I didn't get any, I would be sad, but I would understand. But this just isn't a case of sour grapes. Okay, maybe the grapes are a little sour, but there's way more to it than just that. A company called Reed Pop is currently the outfit that handles running the Star Wars celebrations. They've been in charge of the events for several years now, and historically, fans have been pretty frustrated over the years with how this company handles exclusives and tickets, autographs, admission to panel discussions, and hotel reservations. Since Reed Pop took over, everything is overly complicated, websites almost always crash, and the way they run things for the events on site, well, basically, you end up standing in a line to get tickets, to stand in a line, to stand in a line for the panel. I know that lines at conventions are not new, but the way they've set it up, you end up spending most of your day just standing in these lines and not doing anything else. But it looks like I'm not even going to get a chance to experience all of the lines next year because I couldn't even get admission tickets. Let me break down what happened. This time, tickets went on sale at 12 p.m. Pacific time on the Star Wars Celebration website. Luckily, this year, they seem to have at least kept the website from crashing. The way that it worked was, no matter when you logged on, if you logged on the day before or you logged on 5 minutes before the tickets went on sale, everybody was supposedly treated the same, and you were all dumped into a random queue while you waited for your turn to buy tickets. And that's where the problems began. I logged in at about 15 minutes before the tickets were to drop, and at 12 straight up, I was dropped into a random queue, and my very long wait began. If it was just a wait, I may not have been so angry, but during this wait, there was never any updates given on the screen as to what your position actually was, or what tickets were even still available. They did give one update early on that the Jedi Master VIP exclusive tickets were sold out. That notice happened at about an hour in. The Jedi Master VIP tickets almost always sell out within the first hour or two when the tickets go on sale, so that wasn't too surprising. But that was the only update we ever got. The other big problem was this. They allowed one person to purchase up to 20 tickets. And to me, that's just opening the door for online scalpers to come in and fill their bag full of tickets, preventing those that really want them from getting a chance. As I waited for tickets, I checked on another device at about 3 hours in, and the tickets were already dropping on eBay at ridiculously expensive prices. The 4 day tickets were already going for thousands and thousands of dollars, and the 1 day tickets were selling at hundreds of dollars over what they were actually worth. But I continued to wait, and after almost 6 hours, I was finally dumped into a room where you could purchase tickets, and they were all gone. Not one single ticket left. And the third party sites were flooding with price gouged tickets for Star Wars Celebration Los Angeles 2027. So, to me, the fact that there was never any update about what tickets were still available so you could stop wasting your time waiting, coupled with the fact that an individual could buy up to 20 tickets tied to no form of identification or any way to track who actually purchased them, has led to ridiculous scalping. San Diego Comic-Con makes you register for an account, and then each ticket you purchase is registered to an individual, and there is a strictly enforced limit to how many tickets you can purchase. Anything just as simple as making somebody register for an account and register the tickets to a name would have prevented the scalping that's happening now, even if they were still allowed to buy 20 tickets. They would all have to be registered to an individual. Needless to say, the blowback from this has been huge. The fan community is super angry and eventually forced ReedPop to issue a statement that they realize that they made some mistakes. Really? And people can sign up for a second chance to buy tickets if the tickets are reclaimed from scalpers. Look, I've done that, but my hopes aren't high. Mickey, Marvel, and more hope to take everybody along with us to Star Wars Celebration Los Angeles, but it looks like that may not happen now. We will keep you updated if anything changes, and we'll let you know if ReedPop talks about changing any of their procedures in the future. For now, I'm just a sad Star Wars fan that won't get to celebrate with other Star Wars fans in April of 2027.
Jumbo, everyone, and welcome to Kilimanjaro Safaris.
Now, to wrap up our news on a much happier note and continuing to keep our streak of these stories going through the last several episodes, some of our favorite news here at Mickey, Marvel, and More, baby animal news. A few episodes back, we told you all about a brand new baby giraffe that was born over at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Now this brand new baby Maasai giraffe has a name. Her name is Ivy. Something cool that I learned while writing this story is that all of the giraffes over at Disney's Animal Kingdom have tree-themed names, since the majority of their diet is tree leaves. Ivy's mom is named Willow after the willow tree, and another member of the herd is named Maple after, well, you guessed it, maple trees. The giraffe care team over at Animal Kingdom came up with a list of about 12 tree-themed names, and they settled on Ivy. Just a refresher, Ivy was born over at Disney's Animal Kingdom this April at about 120 pounds and nearly 6 feet tall. This little Maasai giraffe was being kept backstage at the park until she was old enough to make her debut on the savannah of Kilimanjaro Safaris, and now it looks like that's going to happen in just a couple of weeks. Maasai giraffes are classified as an endangered species by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, with only around 30,000 of them left in the wild, so every new calf is a big step towards protecting the future of this incredible species. Ivy's birth adds to the Maasai giraffe family tree, keeping the population healthy and thriving so little ones like her can keep towering over the savannah for generations to come. We are so excited to get a chance to see Ivy in person at Kilimanjaro Safaris during our upcoming summer trip. We'll try to get a picture or two of her that we can post in the show notes in an upcoming episode. As always, Mickey, Marvel, and More will continue to bring you all of the big and tiny Disney animal news, so stick with us.
This is not Santa's workshop. It's just one section of a creative world where new attractions for Disneyland are conceived.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Family Chat and welcome to my longtime co-host and lovely wife, Laura. Welcome.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
I am so glad to have you back. Now, as you know, Disneyland is celebrating their 70th anniversary, and we've wanted to go, but we haven't gotten out there yet. Luckily for us, part of our Mickey, Marvel, and More gang has. Joining us from our Echo-based studio in an underground hidden bunker in an undisclosed location in Chicago, it's fan favorite Zack and Sophie. Welcome.
Not fan favorite.
Well, it doesn't mean you're not a favorite of the fans.
I'm going to say future fan favorite.
Future
Sophie.
fan favorite? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We're being optimistic here.
Path to stardom.
Well, if you want to, we can make a special intro for Sophie's Hot Takes. We can do that today if you want to do that. So luckily, Zack and Sophie just returned from a trip to California, and they spent a few days at Disneyland Resort. And it's really interesting because Zack has been there multiple times. We've been there multiple times. We've been lucky enough to go. But Sophie's never been to Disneyland before. So she's essentially a Walt Disney World girl plopped down into the Disneyland Resort. So I'm really interested to kind of start off with some of Sophie's hot takes.
So let me I don't know that was necessarily an introduction
I
for
don't know.
commentary, but so maybe you guys can start off by telling us your overall impressions of Disneyland and also what struck you as some of the biggest differences between Disneyland and Walt Disney World.
Okay,
Go ahead, first timer.
Firstly, I was very excited to go to Disneyland for the first time because one of the things that Zack said to sell it to me was, "Oh, Sophie, this is going to be so much more your speed." Meaning, it's smaller, it's a little more digestible, the crowds aren't as bad, and so he really thought it was going to be like a huge hit with me, and I did enjoy the parks a lot, but what really did strike me was just it's so much smaller, which he told me.
Right.
But I didn't know until I was there, and then you see the castle, and it's like a dollhouse version of the normal castle, and all of the rides are a little bit smaller, and all of that. But I was a little bit surprised by that. But one of the things that I appreciated about it that surprised me as well was the cohesion in some of the areas. So like, is it Fantasyland? Mm-hmm. Fantasyland was so beautiful, and I loved to look around, and everything was themed together. Like the colors and design elements were sort of carried out, and it felt like there was a very natural path to sort of walk through everything. I liked that the park seemed to be more designed to linger. So there were overall more benches, more little alcoves where you could just sort of sit down and enjoy your surroundings. So in that way, it was definitely like, I think there were aspects that I enjoyed about it that Disney World did not have.
But something that you had mentioned to me that, I don't know, I thought was really fascinating is so many things about the rides in Disneyland are different than the ones in Florida, right?
Yeah.
And something you had mentioned to me that I had never really thought about is, a lot of them are different, but in general, a lot of them are a little bit shorter. And that's something that never really occurred to me until this trip. Like, often people will say that like the Disneyland version of Haunted Mansion is the superior version, but it's a shorter ride. I don't know if necessarily that makes it worse or better. I think the Florida one's better, but it is interesting that like it's a shorter ride. Small World, it has this like really amazing exterior facade, but the ride itself is shorter. I feel like a lot of the Fantasyland dark rides, like I feel like they are a little bit shorter than the ones in Florida. Jungle Cruise is shorter. I don't know. I feel like this was the first trip where I felt like, because every time we have gone to Disneyland, it's like, oh, look at like how different it is. Look at how like everything's smaller and walkable, but it's so much more cohesive. Everyone's so happy. The crowds are less, all that kind of stuff. But then while we were there, like Sophie had me think about this, like there's not as much spectacle.
Because I think the point of going to Disney and Disney World in particular is it's a place you do not have to make your own fun. It's all set up there to be like the maximum amount of entertaining that it can be. And so when like I was used to only Disney World and then I went to Disneyland for the first time, it's not quite the same. And I think that offers pros and cons. So I don't know, because it was so like the rides are shorter compared to what I was used to. It felt a little less grand in some ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting because I feel like from in someone who is very much in the Disney theme park space, that is a take I have never heard before.
Yeah. I mean, that's totally valid.
Because so often people will be like, Disneyland is better because it's the original, because it has more of the heart. It's what Walt wanted or whatever.
Right.
I don't know, like I hear all of that stuff like as a justification for like, this is the better put together theme park. I mean, Sophie's right. Like a theme park is about spectacle.
I mean, they had some really cool places that were original to Disneyland that I was delighted by, and we'll get into that. So, you know, it's not like I was like, oh, it doesn't have anything to add. Like, there was stuff that I loved about it, but overall, I feel like the major perk was just that it was more walkable and, you know, more accessible.
I think also as someone who is a Disney World fan over Disneyland, when I brought Sophie there expecting her to like Disneyland more, for her to say, no, I think Disney World's better, that felt like a big win.
Okay, it's not an us versus them, but I totally understand your point.
So most of your general comments, I feel like, are kind of directed at Disneyland Park. What about Disney's California Adventure? Do you have any overall impressions of that park? Because some elements of that park are repeated in Florida, but overall, that is a completely different park.
It was really cool. I thought Cars Land was beautiful. Like the way that they designed it and how picturesque everything is. It was just gorgeous. And I loved especially Flo's Cafe, the design and layout. We walked by the Cars ride and it just looked gorgeous the way that everything was put together. I am so prone to motion sickness. We didn't think it would be a good idea for me to ride it. So I didn't get to ride it.
Probably not.
And I didn't ride like any of the rides there because of that.
No,
but it looked super cool.
We quite literally walked into Cars Land, went to the end of the street. Sophie said, I can't ride that. And then we left and didn't go back.
I think the thing
was beautiful.
I think the thing that always sticks out to me about Cars Land is that you really honestly feel like you walked into the movie.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And it's also fascinating because that was Disney's first attempt at the like immersive land model.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know. I thought the old Hollywood stuff was cool, and I liked the national park theming and like feel of it. But there were a lot of rides that I couldn't ride.
Yeah, like California Adventure, we determined is not very motion sickness friendly.
Yeah.
So we rode some stuff there, and
we rode 2 rides at California Adventure.
Well, that's fair. 100%
really?
fair.
Yeah, we rode 2 because that's all we could do if you didn't want to get wet.
Well, and also what we had time for.
Right. We didn't spend a ton of time at California Adventure. We basically got there, did the 2 rides that we planned to ride, and then walked through the park. And I said, Sophie, here's this area. All right, let's move on to the next one.
So what's kind of interesting to me is what I'm hearing from Sophie is a feeling that I have about California Adventure, and I have heard a lot of other people express it. It doesn't feel like it has any cohesion. You go there, you experience all these really cool different areas, but unlike Disneyland or even, Epcot or Hollywood Studios, it feels like it's just a bunch of random things put together because they never truly figured out how to focus this park. And I feel like the way Sophie is describing it, that she may feel that way as well. Am I correct?
Yeah, I mean, I think I felt that when I was in the park, and I think that's part of why I'm struggling to remember which elements are in which park.
Well, that's why I was picking up on that, and I kind of thought that was how you felt.
I don't think it overall bothers me maybe as much as it would bother like theme park super fans, because I don't know that cohesion overall is like incredibly important to me in, I don't know, just the experience of a day in the park. But it is like, has all of these disparate elements. Like, that's true.
Yeah.
So moving on, let's talk about food, one of our favorite topics.
We are food motivated people.
Tell us about your favorite meal in the parks and your most disappointing.
Well,
hands down.
Yeah. Despite our limited amount of time at California Adventure, our best meal was at the Carthay Circle Lounge.
Interesting.
Keep in mind, this was not the Carthay Circle restaurant proper. We went to the lounge.
And tell us about the atmosphere there. Where's it located?
It is located at the front of the park. It's at the end of their version of Main Street, which is like Buena Vista Street, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You go down the end of Buena Vista Street, and then there's a recreation of the Carthay Circle Theater that exists out in Hollywood. And then in California Adventure, the theme park, it's a restaurant. So that's where we were. Only we were not in the restaurant proper. We were in the lounge, which is a separate room.
Which I would recommend.
Okay.
So none of us have been to Carthay Circle restaurant ever.
Yes.
Correct.
We looked at the menu. We thought it looked good.
This was a Sophie selection. This was Sophie looked. I looked at it and said, "I want to go there."
Yeah. So unlike your traditional like table service sit down restaurant, this one is very a la carte. So like you can order your drinks, you can order like your food items, and they'll just keep coming to you and be like, do you want more food? Do you want more drinks?
Sure.
And then it's up to your stomach to say yes or no.
So yeah, I'll put a link to the Carthay Circle Lounge in the show notes so people can explore the menus. But I looked at the menus for the restaurant and the lounge, and I've got to say the lounge menu looked a lot more appealing.
And that's what we thought. I feel like the majority of our day at California Adventure was spent there. We just had a really, really great time. Our server was really great. She was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, the service there was awesome. It was great.
Yeah, it was just a really great experience, kind of an unexpected one, because like I said, we had never been there before, so we didn't know what to expect. And I hear the theme park review places say this all the time, and now I've experienced it. They always say, don't sleep on the lounges.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm dying to go now.
So what were the highlights from the menu that you ordered?
I got the spicy ahi tuna spring roll.
Nice.
And it was like, it was basically like sushi, but with, instead of like having rice and seaweed, it was lettuce.
Okay.
And it was spicy, so if you don't like spicy food, don't order it. But it was delicious. It was so good. It tasted so fresh, and the lettuce was like crunchy with it, and so that was great. That was really good.
Nice.
Let's see. I got the pork bao buns.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Also very, very good. I feel like I don't have a ton special to say about it. They were just very good.
Any cocktail highlights?
I mean, yeah.
I also got green Thai curry scallops, and those were pretty good too. You got the tequila daisy, right?
I think I did. Yes, I did. The drinks were also very good. Like, I don't think we ordered a single drink where we were like, that was just okay.
Yeah.
Zack got the tequila daisy. I think I got a sidecar, and that was delicious.
And then we got a dessert drink that we kind of split, right?
Yeah, I think so. We
just kept ordering things because it kept all being so good.
Excellent.
Did we just get I think we got an espresso martini.
Yeah, that was off the menu.
Oh.
But our server suggested it because she said they make a really good one there.
Yeah, but we had it made with Bailey's for a little bit of extra creaminess and sweetness.
Yeah.
And that was really good. I would say the only thing that was just kind of whatever was we also ordered like root beer float popsicle thing.
Okay.
And it's just like vanilla popsicle on top of root beer, or like vanilla ice cream bar on top of root beer. So not necessarily a must try.
No, it was that wasn't like it was still good, but it wasn't anything special. We just saw the people next to us order it. We both went, "What's that?"
Because it looked impressive, and then we got it, and we were like, "Oh, this is
a little case of FOMO."
Yeah.
Did you have any disappointing meal experiences? Anything that just didn't quite live up to either what you expected or was just one of those situations where you found yourself somewhere needing to eat and you got something that was maybe not exciting?
I mean, we had a little bit of that when we went to the Jolly Holiday Cafe because we were quite literally just looking to get food for dinner, and that's what was there, and the stuff we ordered was fine.
Yeah.
But I liked the atmosphere. I thought it looked very cute, so I wanted to check it out when we were looking for like quick service options.
Where was the Jolly Holiday place located?
It is where the Crystal Palace is in Disney World.
Okay.
It's in that spot.
So it's in Disneyland at the end of Main Street.
For another disappointing experience, but for a slightly different reason, our experience at the Blue Bayou was lessened because Pirates of the Caribbean was closed while we were there.
Also, they would not get Zack an alcoholic mint julep.
Really? I thought that was always on the menu there.
Well, you see, they have moved that to the dedicated mint julep bar that is no, that's not even it. It's not even it. Because you can't get the alcoholic ones there.
No, you can't get it at the mint julep bar either.
That's right, because we looked into that. You can only get an alcoholic mint julep.
Is it Cafe Orleans?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Cafe. That is the only place you can get an alcoholic mint julep.
Week.
Which I thought was crazy.
Yeah.
But
that is really interesting that they would make a choice like that in a restaurant that is such a Southern theme.
Yeah.
Favorite ride and maybe most disappointing ride experience. Let's maybe start with the disappointment and then go to the favorite.
I hated web slingers.
Oh, wow.
Hot take.
Hot take alert.
Well, I would say a hot take within our family, not a hot take in the theme park community. People do not like web slingers.
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
that's
Zack
true.
talked it up to me, and he was like, "People hate web slingers, but we think it's great." And I knew it was like a shooter type of ride, and I love Toy Story Mania, so I thought I was gonna be down for it. And then we had like the pre-show, and it was cute, but I was sort of like, "What?" with the robots. And then we had the actual ride, and my like laser color or whatever just kind of blended into the environment too much, and I couldn't understand where I was aiming or what I was hitting.
Oh no.
And it was just a big old mess on the screen to me. And I don't think I've ever gotten off of a ride more frustrated. I left.
Oh wow.
Oh no.
I was like, this sucked. I couldn't hit anything, and I didn't understand what was going on, and so, I was not a fan of that. That was my least favorite ride.
I think another disappointing or at least just weird ride experience for you was very first thing we rode at Disneyland Park was Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Okay.
And you got off the ride and you were like, we waited 20 minutes for that?
Yeah, it apparently is, I guess, a fan favorite in Disneyland, but I'd never ridden it, and I rode it, and I was like, for somebody who needs glasses, and I think I said for somebody who needs glasses and doesn't wear glasses, it was like a bright cardboard mess. Like, we were moving so much, and
you had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, well, no, I understood like the plot of the ride, but it just wasn't very advanced, so it felt like kind of a carnival ride stuck in Disney. So yeah, I just didn't think it was worth a 20-minute wait, I guess.
Yeah, I think the thing with Mr. Toad's Wild Ride is it is an original ride to Disneyland, and it was there at opening day, so people have a love affair with it. But I agree with you. It is very much
Especially because it was taken away in Florida.
Correct. And it's just cardboard cutouts, and it's of a cartoon that modern day people don't really know very much about.
Yeah.
It's
sure.
It's a story that it just does not resonate with people because most people haven't even seen it.
So how about your favorite ride experience?
So my favorite ride in Disneyland is the Indiana Jones adventure. I love that ride system, the ride theming, the queue theming, everything about it is just like everything's done right.
Top notch.
It's just such a fun ride. And felt like we got redemption because when we tried to ride it at our first night,
it broke down.
And
we were there late to ride, specifically to ride the ride, because there was a much shorter line.
Like we waited till after all the fireworks were over, after Fantasmic was over. We were there late.
Okay.
And we were in a car that was like just about to go off. Like we were in the front, and then the ride broke down, and they kept us on the ride for like 20 plus minutes.
Oh no.
They were like, we're gonna fix it, and then they couldn't fix it. And not only could they not fix it, but they had to like specially exit us from the ride because we were just far enough away from the boarding area that they had to like get a step stool out and like have people help us out of the ride vehicle and proceed to, I don't know, emergency exit. So it was all very dramatic, and
that's not the way you want to end your evening. Not the way you want to end your evening.
So it felt like
when we finally rode it, it was a lot of fun. I love Indiana Jones, and I like that ride system a lot. So that was also one of my favorites.
Excellent.
Yeah, like it was a moment of redemption.
I also really liked the Guardians Tower of Terror, which I know that's not what it's called, but I love Twilight Zone a lot, and I don't know, a loyalist to the original Tower of Terror. So I thought it was going to be like a cynical bah humbug about the Guardians paint over, but it was actually a lot of fun. It was just a very different vibe from the original.
I believe it's Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So Guardians Tower of Terror.
Unfortunately, Sophie's a big this is not unfortunately. Sophie's a big fan of animatronics, and unfortunately, the Rocket pre-show animatronic was not working.
Oh no!
Yeah. I was so sad because I also like Rocket, so I was like, oh, that was funny because we got into the room and Zack was like, make sure you're standing in this corner with a good view of this corner. So I said, okay. And I marched myself right into that corner. And then the screen was like in a different area and we watched the screen the whole time. And then I was like, why did I need to be in this corner? It was like, there was supposed to be an animatronic there. But our ride pattern was really good.
We got a
too.
really good
pattern, so that was
nice.
A big part of the fun. And then another ride I really liked was Alice in Wonderland, because I love Alice in Wonderland, and the decor was really cute, and like the queue, and I don't know, all of that, and I like that there's the outdoor portion.
Yeah,
so that was fun.
So it's kind of like the opposite of Mr. Toad's Wild Ride for you.
Yeah.
It was dark. It was Disneyland Dark Ride Redemption.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I really liked it. It was super cute.
Excellent.
So Disneyland has a lot of rides and, of course, has a lot of places to eat. But then there's also sort of this category of other, which I would sort of call Disney experiences. And that can be everything from character experiences to shows to, riding on transportation. What was your favorite sort of other experience that maybe didn't fit into eating or riding a ride?
So, for some context for what I think was Sophie's highlight, one of
highlights.
For our second day at Disneyland, we decided to power through, and we were there from like 10 a.m. until park close.
Oh, wow.
We were there. We did not go back for a break. We were there, we started our day at California Adventure, ended at Disneyland Park. We were there all day. So this was around the midpoint of the day. We were considering leaving California Adventure to go over to Disneyland. and you were starting to lose steam, and then something revived you. You were like, Zach, I don't know if I can do this. We may have to go back for a break.
I was getting tired. I was feeling hot, and then we walked. We turned a corner, and through the clearing, I saw them. Nick Wilde and Judy Hopps. And they were standing for a character meet and greet, and I was like, and we hadn't really seen very many characters, and we hadn't met any characters, and I was like, Zach, we have to meet Nick and Judy. And we talked to the guy who was, the line master. And we were like, and he said, Nick and Judy are leaving soon. And I said, okay, if we get in line now, do you think we'll see them? And we had a whole big back and forth about it because he wouldn't give us a straight answer. And I was like, okay. I said, okay, if you were a betting man, would you say that we would see them before they leave? And he said, probably not. So he said, okay, well, I guess we'll leave then. And he said, but they'll be back at this time. So then we swiftly changed our plans to hang out somewhere and then come back to meet Nick and Judy. We did, and it was great. And they saw our, just married pins. Mm-hmm. So then they, made a big deal over my ring and, gave us hugs. And it was really cute. It was so much fun.
Nick Wilde looked at Sophie's wedding ring and then looked at me and gave me an approving nod.
He gave Zack, a thumbs up. And they were just a lot of fun. I thought the character actors were doing a great job. Yeah, and we got a good moment with them. It was really fun.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's really neat.
Mm-hmm.
You can have great character experiences even as an adult.
Well, no, one of my other favorite experiences, it's the same across different lands, but I'm a big Tiki Room fan, so we went to the Tiki Room and that was great.
The OG animatronics.
I forgot that this version's longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Zach also didn't know I was a huge Tiki Room fan. So we left and I was like, I love the Tiki Room. It's one of my favorite things ever. And Zach was like, really? The Tiki Room? I was like, yes, there are a bunch of birds and they're singing to you. And the flowers sing too. That's the whole point. What's better than that? And I even turned to him during the show and I was like, I would sell one of my kidneys to get one of these animatronic birds just to have it. And then
wow.
We left and he was like, oh, you're a big Tiki Room fan? I didn't know.
So if any of the Tiki birds ever go missing, we know who to check with.
It wasn't me. I didn't do it.
It'll be like Buzzy. If you know,
right.
you know.
Yes. If you know, you know.
I Buzzy. I'm in the know.
So let me ask you, what was the most surprising thing about your Disneyland experience?
I think we're both going to have the same one.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Toontown.
Nice.
I loved Toontown.
We were gonna go ride Roger Rabbit because Sophie's, a big Roger Rabbit fan.
Mm-hmm.
And we walked into Toontown and then you were awestruck. And I was so surprised about how much you loved Toontown. One of my biggest surprises of this trip was how much she liked Toontown.
We entered the area and I gasped aloud. And
wow.
I looked at the sight line because I think we were there at the perfect time of day too because
it was
the sun
sunset.
was setting. And so the sky was this beautiful flat blue and it blended in perfectly with the sort of backdrop that they have to make it look like a cartoon. And it was just so beautiful. And I think that's just all of the elements and the pastels and the fountain and everything. I was just enchanted because it did feel like something that was perfectly at home in Disneyland and a unique experience to Disneyland. Because I feel like something small and charming like that, there aren't as many of those experiences in Disney World. So Yeah,
That's
that was
fair.
one of my favorite things there.
For some context, this was another Sophie was given enough energy to get through the day moment. Because we had just had a very long wait at Peter Pan that we weren't necessarily. No. This was after the submarines.
This was after the submarines.
We had a very stressful experience at the Finding Nemo submarines, and then we're like, okay, let's go to Toontown. Let's go ride Roger Rabbit. The wait's gonna be short. Like, it's gonna be fine. And then you were kind of dragging your feet. You were tired. We walked into Toontown, and you were like, oh.
Yeah. So I was just very pleasantly surprised. I loved Toontown. It was so cool.
That's great.
This is a side thing. I don't necessarily know if it fits with this section of the episode, but it's something I wanted to bring up. I don't think Lightning Lane is very worth it at Disneyland.
All right. Another hot take. Yeah, you had mentioned that. So what exactly do you mean by that?
So I think the multi-pass, it works differently in Disneyland than it does in Florida.
Okay.
And I just don't think you can get as much bang for your buck in Disneyland as you can in Florida, especially if you are not riding a lot of the major rides. Which,
Okay.
Obviously Sophie can't, because many of them are motion sickness inducing. Like, either they're a roller coaster or they're a motion simulator or something like that. So, like, we used it on our second day there because we wanted to make sure we got everything done that we wanted to get done.
Mm-hmm.
The way, I don't remember if this is how it works in Florida, but after you book a Lightning Lane in Disneyland, you can't book another one for 2 hours.
It was weird for us because we did it so last minute. There were like limited time slots available.
Okay.
So that made the experience worse. So I think if you can book them more in advance, then it's probably more worth it. But because we weren't planning to get it, and then we did while we were there, specifically because of the Indiana Jones mishap, that made it so that like the layout of our day was going to be different because we were going to have to backtrack to that specific area. So we needed like the lightning lanes to sort of make sure we still got everything in. So because of that, I think it was less worth it.
Okay.
It's also like,
but we wouldn't have gotten all of the rides in that we did. We didn't have it.
So it was useful from that perspective. I was just thinking of it from the perspective of someone who was going to the theme park thinking about using the lightning lane the whole day, right? Like, for booking rides in the morning, afternoon, evening, whatever. Like, if you are using that for your whole trip, less rides are offered via Lightning Lane at Disneyland than Disney World.
Yeah, that
there are more that are off limits.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, it boils down to a lot of the older rides in Disneyland and even some in California Adventure don't have the space in the queue to accommodate a Lightning Lane entrance. So your Peter Pans, your Winnie the Poohs, they don't have space for lightning lanes, and they've built those spaces in Florida. So really in Disneyland, like you said, it's really only effective for the really big coasters that have the extra space in the line to accommodate a lightning lane entrance.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I see exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, so it just wasn't as useful for us.
Yeah.
So maybe that was a disappointment that can go under experiences. I don't know.
Sure. I mean, yeah, because in Disneyland, the way it works, you can't book anything in advance. You only can start booking as soon as you walk through the gate. Whereas in Florida, you can book your first 7 days in advance. So it works completely differently in California.
You can't book lightning lanes in Disneyland until you step foot in the park.
Correct. As soon as you've scanned your ticket, then you're golden and ready to go. So yeah, I agree. I think there may be definitely a usage scenario that is just not useful in Disneyland.
So I think Disneyland is known as the happiest place on earth, right?
Yes.
So what was your happiest experience?
Maybe Toontown.
It sounds like that was a huge hit, and I'm so glad you got to enjoy that because nothing like that exists in Florida anymore.
Yeah, it was so cool. I loved Toontown.
My happiest experience was getting to show Disneyland to Sophie for the first time.
I know you were I know he was very excited about it.
Yes, I was very excited about it. It was very fun for me to see Disneyland through the eyes of someone who's never experienced it before.
Yeah.
and whose only context is for what was in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
To get the affirmation I needed to hear that Disney World is better.
I would say to me, it's different, but there are many things that are better. I'm with Zach. No, it's better.
Disneyland is a little less exhausting. The weather is nicer.
Sure.
It's not so humid. And
right.
And
it's more accessible, like if you have mobility issues or anything. But the spectacle and the grandness of Disney World is hard to beat.
And also, it's usually a little bit more quaint, but not. Well, we were there because it was high school graduation season, so there were a lot of high schoolers on the loose.
Yeah, we had a lot of obnoxious people around us.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's a total difference from when we've been there in the past.
The last time we went in 2023, there was a very, very just relaxed vibe going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was missing from this trip, and so was Pirates.
Oh,
yeah.
One other really happy experience, though. I loved the little wishing well, Snow White's wishing well.
Okay.
So cute.
Yeah.
And I did finally get my mint julep and beignets while Fantasmic was playing in the background. So I did still get that.
So that's a bit of a magical moment for you.
Yeah. Well, we also, while we were riding Tiana's Bayou Adventure, the fireworks were happening. So we went up on one of those hills and saw the fireworks.
And that was great.
Yeah, that's
just
pretty
like
great.
in the commercials. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for sharing your adventures with us. And I am super excited about going to the Carthay Circle Lounge now. Maybe we should just fly out there just to do that.
Yeah.
Total highlight.
Okay. Thanks for being here, guys. Thanks so much for joining us for another episode of Mickey, Marvel, and More. And a big thanks to fan favorite Zack and future fan favorite Sophie for hanging out with Laura and I in the family chat to discuss their short trip to Disneyland Resort. Man, listening to Sophie talk about Toontown really makes me want to go visit there right now. I really miss having Mickey and Minnie's houses in Walt Disney World. I'll also put a link down in the show notes to the menu for the Carthay Circle Lounge so you can take a look at all the great food that Zack and Sophie were talking about. And hey, while you're down there in the show notes, be sure to check out the links to all the stories we talked about. And feel free to leave us a comment about any of our stories or Zack and Sophie's Disneyland trip report on any of our social pages, or you can use our email address, Mickey, Marvel, and More, all one word, at gmail.com. And if we read your comment on the show, you will become an official friend of the show with all of the non-existent rights and privileges that go along with it. As always, if you enjoyed this episode, my name is Mark, and this has been Mickey, Marvel, and More. If you didn't, my name is... Man, I don't have anything clever to say. I just can't stop thinking about Sophie's reaction and her love for Toontown and Disneyland. Honey, we're booking a flight right now! We'll see you next time.